The finals just had some major announcements overall. I'll go over each and every single one of those, as well as breaking down the recent dev community livestream, and there's actually a ton more packed in there than usual. That does also include some upcoming updates and even some information about the esports major, where we'll deep dive in some of the speculative stuff and even the confirmations, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, World of Utopia here, back with another video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so first up here, yes, we had update 7.7. I have a video breaking that down from yesterday, going over all the information, especially with the new Embark Creator program. So if you're curious about that program, you can check out that video. But on top of that, I do have a little bit of an update there with that one, which does also include and coincide with the developer livestream. So yesterday, I did mention that I had troubles signing up with my Hotmail email address. It seems like that issue is still a problem today. I haven't got any verification email. Even upon requesting a new link, it still didn't give me any verification. There was again an update on the developer livestream about this, or even Ludanope and a few others were having issues here saying I can't receive the confirmation email, unfortunately. And we had this update here from Embark Matthew. They said they've identified a problem and are looking into this. In the meantime, you can try signing up with a different email if you'd like. But yes, they are working on that and they have identified the issue. Embark Caroline also did hit on this, saying that they're working on that issue. If you can change the email. Otherwise, wait, and that should be fixed. Again, as I mentioned today, I did try requesting a new email and I didn't get one, unfortunately, still. Now, here's a little tip. If you are currently stuck logged in, yes, you can use incognito tab to re-sign up, but you'll still be stuck in the login page. You technically can clear your history and all of your cookies, but if you just wanted to be able to log out and clear your cookies with this website specifically, you can do so by hitting F12 and then heading to the application tab and then clicking on the Embark section here with cookies and then hitting clear. That should log you out completely. That's essentially what I had to do. I went ahead and signed up with a new email. And I would recommend if you had a Gmail using that one, as I got an email instantly for that. I was able to verify and I'm now signed up for it. So hopefully that'll help you guys with the Embark Creator program, at least as of right now until they identify that issue. As I mentioned, I got a bit impatient there, so I went ahead and signed up with Gmail, and that's the email I'd recommend doing so, or at least try to avoid Hotmail and a few others. We had some more details, a little bit more information about the Embark Creator program. Somebody here asked if they would be able to still become a partner or even a creator. Again, the partners are actually really hard to get into. That's kind of the subsection, where the creator is the one that's a little bit more open. But they did ask if they'd be able to be in the creator program if they didn't make any finals content, and they mentioned that it was due to hardware limitations. Embark Caroline actually did clarify in this, saying that you would need to make the finals content to become a partner. So essentially, you would have already needed to have the finals content on your channels or one of your channels. And this rule isn't just for smaller creators. In fact, there was a much larger creator that I'm actually kind of friends with or buddies with. He's a TikTok creator that has almost 1 million followers. Back in the day, he asked me how to get into the Embark Creator program. And I told him the same thing back then, that he would need to start making the finals content in order to get into the program. So if that's applying to somebody with 1 million followers on TikTok, that's going to apply to other smaller creators as well. So it doesn't matter there is no kind of special treatment there. You do have to have the finals content on one of your social media channels in order to qualify there. And what better time to not start sooner than later if you wanted to get going on that. Again, they're going to have multiple waves with this creator program, so don't worry there. You'll be able to get in eventually if they do choose. Next up here, we had a few other dev mentionables. This one comes from Cows on the stream, who went on to ask Rob if they're still monitoring the CL40 use. They think it's still oppressive, which too much splash damage, and they still think it's too easy to use. Although I do think all games need some sort of fun mechanic there. Even COD had noob tubes back in the day. But Rob from Embark does answer this one, and he said, yes, I know the team is working on it. I think he said something about that during the AMA. He did clarify with a few of his other community managers, and yeah, they are still looking at that and monitoring it. So I would give it some time there and let them kind of formulate that balance. We had another one here from Rob. He did join the stream a little bit later, where he was replying to one of his community managers here, Embark Janice, saying, did you see the cool things that we should have in the store? He ended up linking her a video to something, things that they want to add. Really cool there, can't wait to see. I hope they do get more iterations. I mean, they even added nail polish at this point, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some more items there. With the cosmetics there, I have actually submitted my Q&A and the top 20 Q&As to Rob, so hopefully I heard some word back on that eventually sometime soon. Again, that delay was entirely on my part there, but hopefully we can do a Q&A session going over the cosmetics. And I did have questions in there about jewelry, so maybe we see something along of that lines. where we do get some additional jewelry other than just watches. Will be kind of cool to eventually see there. There was one last text thing or chat thing that happened during the live stream, although we have a ton of vocal info that happened from Oscar, which I will go over into a bit, and this actually does coincide with it. So RDIRL actually did jump into the live stream and was chatting up. Now with the majors coming out, RDIRL actually did cover a few of the other games, and he actually does announce for some games. This is actually somebody that I am speculating that might be a finals announcer for the majors. Not 100% sure on that. It might be much more tied down and exclusive, but they have commentated on other games, so that would be my speculative pick. Which, yeah, speaking of the majors, we had a ton of information during this live stream. So they have essentially unveiled the roadmap for the majors, where the signups are actually open on August 14th. The open qualifiers will be on August 30th and September 6th. That's going to be using the Faceit platform. Pretty cool there. Faceit is through CSGO as well. Then they'll have the closed qualifier, which will only be 8 teams that can advance, with the LAN for the majors and the major finals will be 16 teams in total. And that one is powered by ESL and the Faceit group. Really cool to see there. They have a fantastic anti-cheat with CSGO, so nice to see that one there overall. Of course, the dates and the location is for the closed qualifier we went over already, but that one is happening on September 20th to the 21st, and it's going to be at the Stockholm ESL studio, with then the Grand Major LAN finals happening from November 28th to the 30th, and that one's happening this year at DreamHack, which is happening in Stockholm, and there is a 100,000 prize pool confirmed. The tickets for DreamHack in Stockholm are now on sale, so you can actually purchase those if you plan to visit. Now, there actually has been 3 sponsors that are essentially confirmed. These sponsorships are essentially with DreamHack, so they are kind of combined there. They are set there for the entire DreamHack Festival weekend. And again, because the finals is one of the major headline esports on site, they're effectively the major's current headline backing sponsors. There might be some additional ones, but this is kind of cool to confirm those, with the first one being the presenting partner. This one is a Scandinavian consumer electronics, so it is local to that area, and I believe they're called LG Ganten. There's 2 official partners here, again, ESL Faceit Group, and then Red Bull as well. So pretty cool there. Again, there might be more alongside this, but those are the ones that are essentially confirmed as of right now, as they are tied with DreamHack specifically. Now, there has actually been 4 teams that have officially locked in so far. That is the Alliance Organization, Team Envy, Pulsar Esports, and Space Station Gaming, or SSG. Now, this was confirmed by them as well as Oscar on stream, and he does say there are multiple pro organizations that have signed up for this year. They have Alliance, Team Envy, Pulsar Esports, and Space Station Gaming that have already signed up and announced rosters for this year's majors. So confirmed there by the community manager as well. Now, as I mentioned, I was going to do a bit of speculation here just for fun, and that's going off of the broadcast talent or even the individuals that could be commentating or announcing. Now, the most highly likely right now is Waltz, Cast, and Gary. They are the Pro Hubs champion casters, and they've been praised by the devs on stream. Hyperactive might also be there, or were the summer cash out casters open availability also being Q4 2025. And then I did have that user speculated one, or at least from me, which was RDIRL, since he has been kind of consistent with the finals. He jumps into the streams every now and then, and he has casted some higher end tournaments. He's a smaller creator overall, but he does on occasion. Again, none of these are official. This is just pure speculation. Take that with a grain of salt. And the official talent there won't be revealed for about 2 to 3 weeks prior to LAN, at least based on prior DreamHack event patterns. That also could be pre-approved DreamHack announcers. But as I said, I just figured it'd be kind of fun to speculate on who we could see there. Moving on from the majors tie-in and all the little updates there, there was actually some quality of life updates mentioned during the stream, where there is a controller bug fix incoming. Currently, a PS5 controller on PC has been a bit buggy, and they have identified that issue. There is a fix coming very soon. There actually is a workaround right now, though. You can just disable Steam input through the settings, or at least through Steam settings. If you've been having issues with PS5 controller, that should fix it for you. Oscar also did tease a little bit for Season 8. He did mention that there is something huge coming eventually, but no details yet or nothing to speculate on. We could expect some big reveals very soon, though. That does cover from everything from the community stream. Last up here, of course, we do those mentionables from my community, which are those features from the Star Models page. This first one here comes from Gatling Fumes, who does a Moist Critical impression, or a cosplay here for that. Does actually rock this one pretty well, even using the desk emote. A second one here is from Legendile, who yes is one of my moderators, and he calls this one the Vire Operative, which there is some Alpha Octa sponsorships on this one, but I think it actually really works very, very well, and the colors mirror it obviously very well. So other than that, it actually does look like a Via cosmetic. We had Billy Baja Blast, showing off a really fun one here, and actually able to use the orange jacket Alongside some white cosmetics, the boots don't match as well as I probably would like them to, but I do think it does work even though they are kind of a different tint of orange, and the headset being a different trim color. Still, I like the outfit overall. Fourth up here and back again with another one, we had Flack, where he just says it's a very simple outfit with some gentle colors. Yeah, I think this one works and especially makes use of that mask from Season 5, which I haven't seen many outfits, even if at all, that work with it. Last up here but not least, we had one from Sloth. Again, another orange and white theme here that really works well. That color is just not easy to work with, especially when the boots don't tie in. They're a little bit of an off orange, but I still think it works, and a decent one nonetheless. Overall, I should cover for today's video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!